Hey guys, ready for practice 2? All right, again on this video, you can pause it whenever you need to. Again, I would have a scratch piece of paper out so you can be doing this with me. You can see this time we've made it a little bit harder. Now we have a 3-digit number multiplied by a 2-digit number. So our area model box is going to look a little different this time. Now again, you may decide that you want 3 boxes going vertically rather than horizontally, and that's okay. I went ahead and made my area model box and color coded it so that you guys can kind of see where I'm staying organized and everything. So if you want to pause the video at this time and make your area model box for 857 times 14, you may go ahead and do that. All right, we know that the next step after we have drawn our 3 by 2 area model box is to break our numbers apart into expanded form. So we're going to start with 857. Now I know there's going to be 3 parts when I expand the number 857 because there are 3 digits in this number. So if you want to pause the video at this time, you may break apart 857 into expanded form. Okay, looking at our hundreds place, there's an 8 in our hundreds place, so we know that in expanded form would be 800. There is a 5 in our tens place, making the 5 a value of 50, and a 7 in our ones place that has a value of 7. So I know that 800 plus 50 plus 7 is 857. All right, if you would like to pause it to expand 14, you may do that. There are 2 digits in the number 14. So in the tens place, there is a 1, making that value 10. And in the ones place, there is a value of 4, making that 4. I know that 10 plus 4 does in fact equal 14. All right. Now I am going to place my expanded numbers into my area model box to label those. So because I have 3 boxes across the top, I know that the number 857 needs to be represented up here. Okay. If you chose to do 3 boxes going down, then 857 would have to be represented on this side. Okay. So if you'd like to pause the video at this time, you can pause it and label your area model box. Okay, so I'm always going to start with my hundreds place on the left, and I'm going to work right. So my 800 is represented above my blue box, and I'm going to mark that off so I stay organized. My 50 in my tens place, the 5 in the tens place, is going to be represented in the orange box. I'm going to check that off. And then last but not least, my 7 in the ones place is going to be above my yellow box, 857. Okay, and I'm going to check that off. All right, so now I just need to label the left side of my area model box, and I only have 2 numbers left. So I'm going to start at the top with my largest place value, which is a 10, which is the tens place, which happens to be a 10. So I'm going to mark that off, put a 10. And then my 4 in my ones place is going to go next to my pink box here. So now I have all of my boxes labeled. Now I just need to solve for the products inside each box. Okay. If you feel like you can already do this, you may pause this video. If you want to stay with me and pause it as you feel needed, that is fine. Okay, so I'm going to start in my top left box. You can start with whatever box you feel most comfortable with. Maybe you start right off with 7 times 4 in the purple box because you know that fact off the top of your head. That's okay. I'm going to start up here though in the blue box. I know that 800 times 10, I know that the value is just going to be 10 times more than 800. So I know that that is going to be 8,000. Again, I like to stay organized, so I'm going to write the value of the blue box down here. Moving to my orange box, I'm going to look above at the 50. And I'm going to look to the left and multiply my 50 times 10. I know that 50 just needs to be 10 times greater, making that 500. And then I'm going to put the value of the orange box down below. All right, moving right along. Looking at my yellow box, above is a 7, and to the left is still a 10. And I know that 7 times 10 is 70. So I'm going to put the value of the yellow box down below. Okay. All right, moving down to the pink box. Looking up, I have 800. And I'm going to multiply that by what I see to the left, which is 4. Now, just like in practice 1, if this is a little tricky for you, you can think, okay, what is 8 times 4? Well, I know that 8 times 4 is 32. And then I see 2 zeros, so I know that 32 has to be 100 times larger, making that 3,200. To stay organized, I'm going to put 3,200, the value of that pink box, down below. And then I'm going to move to my green box. Looking up, I have 50. And I'm going to multiply that by what is to the left, which is 4. Well, I know 5 times 4 is 20. And then I know that this has to be 10 times larger because I only multiplied this times 5. And this number is 50, which is 10 times larger. So that has to make this 200. So the value of my green box is 200. And then last here is my purple box. And I'm going to look up and see that that's a 7. And I'm going to multiply that by what's to the left, which is a 4. And I know that fact right off at the top of my head. 7 times 4 is 28. And I'm going to put that down here. Very good. So now our entire area model box is filled out. But again, we are still not done. We have all of these values here that we need to combine. Okay, and when I say that we need to combine them, again, that just means we need to find the sum. Okay. If there's somebody sitting next to you, go ahead and tell them what operation sum means. Did you tell them addition? Very good. So, just like before, we're going to find some friendly numbers. Okay, maybe you can put some of these numbers in your head together. I might put these numbers together differently than you do, but that's okay. So right now, I see 8,570. And I just put those together just by saying them. So I'm going to mark these 3 numbers off so I don't accidentally add them together again. But I'm going to say that again, 8,570. Okay? We could put those together without really having to line them up and add them. Okay? Then I just have 3 numbers left. If you want to pause this video and try to find the product of our area model box, you can go ahead of me. That is fine. But I'm thinking right now, I can probably put 3,200 together with 200 in my head really easy. If I line up those hundreds places, I know that that would make this 3,400. Okay, 3,400 and 3,428. Okay, so now I just used all of my numbers just by finding some friendly numbers. All right, I said I was going to add these, so I still have to add these 2 numbers together. Okay, if they're a little far away from you, you can write them closer together on your notebook paper. But I know that 0 plus 8 is 8. I know that 7 plus 2 is 9. I know that 5 plus 4 is 9. And I know that 8 plus 3 is 11. So I know that 857 times 14 equals 11,998. How'd you do?